Run the clip.
Kai Havetz.
Was he on course for a 20-goal season?
Yeah. You are a bit of a flip-flop, man.
Define flip-flop.
You need to answer some questions as well.
How are you flipping this around?
Turkish is excited.
Can't a man be excited for what?
So you were excited, right? Jesus outscore Erling Haaland. Who's that big guy? That one, you're missing someone here.
Can't say the name. I dare you say the name now because I got one more loaded. I got one more here loaded. Say the name.
Missing one.
Say the name.
Target number 1, Christian Benteke.
Lock the whole thing up.
Gunners Unfiltered. Hi and welcome along to another episode of Gunners Unfiltered. Me and Turkish going head to head on a subject, right? How you doing?
I'm good. I'm 2-0 up as well.
What do you mean 2-0 up?
You ain't seen the comments, no?
So I know you tried to drive your little minions to the...
I ain't done no retweeting, no sharing, no nothing. I've just been watching the ship sail.
I think you got 1-0 up.
Is that what you think?
1-0 up.
You've done 2. So what happened to the other one? Disqualified or...
Anyway, right, what's today's subject? You got the subject for today, innit?
Yeah. First subject of the day. Obviously, it's back to me. It's only fair, right?
Yeah, go on.
Time to admit you were wrong. Something you struggle with.
Time to admit I'm wrong about what?
Kai Havertz.
Kai Havertz?
Yeah.
Admit I'm wrong about what?
Well, I could say in general, but I'm going to specifically say 20-goal Premier League season.
No, come on now. You're now
You're gonna use
cheating a bit
because he's injured. Injury.
Well, it's
Was he on course for a 20-goal season?
Yeah.
in what you see?
How many goals did he have? I'm not sure how many goals he's got.
Nine.
So he scored 9 goals in the Premier League.
Yeah.
We said Premier League, weren't we?
But you said, not we,
So
you, Robbie Lau.
He scored 9 goals. He got injured in
February.
February. Start of February.
Yeah, I'll start mid.
All right.
It's all right.
Right, so February.
Oh, the fingers are right.
March, April, May. So he still had 4 months to go. He was on course.
He was on course.
He had 4 months to go.
I told you got a problem with admitting you were wrong. This one could have been like...
No, but how can you say I'm definitely wrong?
Bro, come on.
And anyway, you know what, right? You need to answer some questions as well.
How are you flipping this around?
Right, I'm flipping this, right?
How?
Because, you know what I mean? I'm 2-0 up and all that, right?
Yeah,
well, I've got something for you. I need you to answer this. Take a look at that screen and you answer this for me.
All right, let's see it.
What are you wearing?
The new goalkeeper kit. No, when the club's spending 100 mil and challenging for league title, that's what I wanted. For the first time in a long time, I'm excited to start a season. That doesn't mean that I know how it's going to end.
Turkish is excited.
Imagine, look at this. Can't a man be excited for once? But yeah, I am.
So you were excited, right? He was there telling me about his 2-0, this and that, this thing about the Kroenke. Well, that last picture, that was the work of the deadly Ryan.
Let them
right?
know.
That was the work of he was funny though, right? But you said you're excited. Right, you said, I've got the shirt, I've been to the club shop. Remember you had that campaign going, I'm not buying nothing.
I'm back on it.
Till they start thinking, I ain't buying nothing, yeah? Man's in the club shop, yeah? Right? Man's there saying he's excited. The same thing he was having a go. Why do they keep talking about excited? Explain, it's there in living colour.
As you can see, I don't know if you're going to put the image back on the screen, yeah? I had a tan in that interview. That means I've just come off the back of tour. That means I was influenced by the... well, you could say that. America's hot in the summer. But I was still excited. I was still off the back of that tour, meeting the American fan base. That left me a bit reeling off,
But it's easy.
And the 100 million rights. I mentioned that. I said, listen,
it's easy
if the club
to go back, right? It's easy to take things that I did in the past and say, look what he said and this and that, right? Oh, look, the transfers and that, right? But you're there. You said you're excited. You want to run it again?
You started
You're
this
excited.
show about it's easy to say. You started this this show. You know that, right?
Huh?
You're the reason for this show. Not I'm starting to blame you for stuff.
You're
the reason
excited,
for this show.
Explain why you. You know what I mean?
I had a tan fresh off America. The American fans were something else. That's what I was excited about.
Yeah,
I don't know if I mentioned
this
that.
is the person who said, right, that I find it hard to admit things. Look
at that tan. Are you telling me I'm not freshly off some sort of trip somewhere? I'm fresh. I'm ready to go. I think this was off the back of, I don't know what result it was actually.
You are a bit of a flip-flop, innit?
No, what flip-flop? Define flip-flop.
Huh?
Define it.
Define flip-flop. 1 minute you say this, then when you're under a bit of pressure, you change it onto a next thing, then you go back, then you do that a lot.
What example? Give me an example.
Huh? Well, there's one there.
No, what do you mean? That's
You're
taken
cussing off Josh Kroenke. Why is he saying to me, why is he telling people to be excited and this and that? And then you're there saying you're excited.
I got duped.
Huh?
I got conned, tricked.
You got duped.
Tricked. I thought Rice was the beginning of something. In fact, it was the end.
Yeah, you got duped, yeah?
Yeah.
And then I've got something else for you.
Okay, let's go.
I'm done with you,
Let's
yeah?
go. Next
right,
up.
so people, yeah, you heard him just come. This is what I'm now going to prove to you, right, that this guy is the biggest flip-flop of all time, right? I don't care if you vote for me or whatever, he lines up his minions, yeah? I don't care. You're say I'll stay. But you are a flip-flop.
Go on.
This man got the cheek to come on there telling me about Havertz, this, Havertz, that. And you're always flip-flopping on Havertz too.
No.
Run the clip.
Kai Havertz.
What about Saka? What about Martinez? Always about Havertz. Why are you protecting Havertz? Are you his dad? Are you his son? Why are you protecting Havertz like that?
He was the outlet for us over the top. He was working hard. So cool, you were ill, you missed 2 games. But when you come in, I don't give a if you had a runny nose or not. Do your job.
Kai Havertz, that move has paid well for both the club and for him. And we're scoring a hell of a lot of goals.
Anyone who says confidence with this guy, tell me how.
Do you think he just has way too much pressure on himself?
He's not good. That is it. That is the answer.
Hey! Finish! Come on, Kai, that's a finish. You ain't got ball knowledge. How do you not rate Havertz? You rate that?
I'm copywriting this. This is my channel.
Havertz
I'm taking this bit down
right now. He's behind every single goal.
Waka, hey! 60 million!
Look, they're scaring my son.
60 million down the drain.
They're scaring my
Sing
son.
that song again.
See?
There was nothing there. I'm
Flip-flopping.
that whole
1
video.
minute, bigging him up. Next minute, you're cussing him.
That's proof.
1 minute, you're there even, trying to encourage your son to sing the song.
Encourage,
Then
I
the next
reload
minute-
that. I was protecting him. Did you see me put my hand over his
Then
head?
the next minute, right? He's then now saying that don't sing that song again.
Yeah, I stand by that.
Where are you? Where are you with Havertz?
Even, just so you know, because you might not know on the where they've clipped me singing that bit of the song, that was on an AFTV Forever Arsenal quiz, and I sung it to lead judges as banter, not because of Kai Havertz. So let me get that one in, because I don't want to hear the song again.
Flip-flop on Havertz, right?
I ain't flipped off on Havertz.
And I'm saying...
Not once.
So I'm not admitting about I got it wrong, because we don't know. Nobody can say whether he would have got 20 goals this season or not. You don't know. He's 9, nearly, just over halfway the season, he's got 9. Not a bad return.
Not a great return, is it?
It's not Erling Haaland, but he was on track to get 20.
No, you can't say that. 9 goals in like 22 games? That's not on track to get 20.
You know what? I'm going to have to ask the guys if you can get the stat up of the exact week games that he got injured. I'd like to know how many games were left in the Premier League when he got injured.
About 17, let's say. About 17. 16, 17.
16, 17 games gone.
And
So then why couldn't he get 20? Right, because you're halfway through the season then.
he hasn't shown that. He hasn't shown he can.
No, but hold on. Listen, just do the maths. If he's got 9 goals...
in 21 games.
What is it? 17, 21. What is it?
You're saying how many's
How
left?
many games?
If-
Are you saying there was 17 left?
Yeah, roughly, yeah.
All right. So he's got 9 goals in
21.
He could still have got 17.
Look, you're even smiling, Rob. Just admit it.
No, hold on. He could still have got what? So he needed another 11 in 17 games.
Yeah.
Why couldn't he do that? You can get 2 in a game. You can get a hat-trick.
How many? Can you list off the games for me that Kai Havertz has scored 2 goals in 1 game for Arsenal Football Club? You've completed the list. Actually, I think he scored 2 against Chelsea.
He scored 2 against Chelsea.
That's the list done.
And we had some easier games
Eddie
coming
scored
up.
2 against Chelsea. And if we start bringing clips up of, we bring other strikers' names into this thing here.
Well, yeah, we could get Patson, your friend Patson.
We can get a few names in.
But listen, I don't think you can conclusively say after that period of time that he wouldn't have got 20. So I'm not going to admit it.
Yeah, but you're
because
prone
you
to
can't
this, though.
conclusively. He didn't have a full season. He got injured. You cannot conclusively say he wouldn't have got 20.
But once you keep on saying something or saying it optimistically or blindly, however, and you keep on getting it wrong, surely there comes a time when you look in the mirror and say, yeah, I've got it horribly wrong over the years. Maybe I shouldn't commit.
Horribly wrong. Listen, we've always agreed on the fact that we need a killer striker. We need a Isak. We need Gyökeres.
But can I tell you what doesn't help? Can I tell you what doesn't help?
What?
Bring the clip up now. Jesus Erling.
All right. Everyone's got clips today, right? All right, let me see this.
Bring the clip up now.
All right, let me see the clip. The revenge of the clips. All right, what's going on? Let me see what you got. What you got?
This bag's deep, you know.
They ain't even got no clip, you know what I mean?
This bag's deep, you know. So they're trying to, that bag's so they're looking for, hey, what clip is it?
All right, let's see this.
Ready, yeah?
Jesus outscore Erling Haaland, right? I know it's going to sound like I'm getting carried away.
Oh, I know.
And I'm not saying he's definitely going to outscore him. I'll be an idiot if I said that. But can he outscore him? I think definitely he can. At Arsenal, he's going to be the main guy. I know you're looking at it, you're closing your eyes on that, but...
No, I'm just processing what you're saying because...
All right, let me give you my
your own brother.
Right? At Arsenal, he's going to be the main guy. The reason why I think Jesus could outscore him is because Haaland's going to be more going to have to fit into a system at Manchester City where it's not all about Haaland.
Respectfully, I would disagree.
When Laurie's respectfully, alright, we got props. So you've done this with Jesus. Now you're doing it with Havertz.
Who's that big guy? That weren't me.
Yeah, don't look like you know. Trust me.
That wasn't me.
We need a lie detector next time.
Man. Hey, AI. They put some AI in there, right? Listen, I don't know what come over me, man. I totally lost it on that one.
So you've done it with Jesus.
I totally lost it on that one. All right, but
you've done it with Havertz.
At least I admit that I cut. That was when, because I think that was when he just came in, innit? Haaland just came in, and Jesus was already there, and he had that season where he's scoring a load of goals. So that's what I think.
No, they both came in the same season.
I lost it on
so
that.
You're thinking,
but at least I admit it. I lost it. I lost it. I can't believe I said that. Right?
And then even if we take one step back, so you've done it with Havertz, you've done it with Jesus.
Right.
One step back, bring up the Eddie clip.
If he gets that man, it's justified.
And why can't he get it?
Because he's not going to get the game time, Rob. He's not going to get it. He's not.
Eddie, don't let me down, but I'm going to bet you now.
What?
50 quid, he gets 15 goals.
Premier League goals.
15 Premier League goals.
Show me the money. Show me the money.
Eddie.
Look what you've done to the Don, Eddie. Look what you've done. He's down bad, I'm telling you. He's down bad.
Owen Campbell says, Eddie 20 goals, Robbie a.k.a. Ty Jr.
Even back
Don already £50 short for the US trip.
Next year, the pre-season time.
Lynch 616 says, Ty wearing a Robbie shirt or Robbie 8 Ty.
Alright, clip on clip. And you know what? I just want the people to know. You see how his clips, he sent it to production. He got it jazzed up.
I didn't send nothing to production.
It got like blended in. My clips are just raw. Just cut this out, put it on the Summer Jam screen, and let's just see what he's saying.
What it is with the Eddie clip, you know when you're trying to back your guy? You're trying to back your player. This guy, he was just hate after hate. Every minute he's on the guy's case, not giving him a chance, even if he scores a goal. He's like, yeah, you know, that's what he does a lot, right? I'm trying to back the guy.
So was you wrong about him as well, though?
Well, how did that go?
How did that go? He's at Palace on one goal.
No, but what it is with that one, right, is that he didn't get the game time. So remember,
I told you.
Yeah. So you were saying he weren't going to get the game time. I was thinking he'd get the game. He didn't get the game time. So obviously, you're not going to score any goals if you literally spent the whole season on the bench.
So I'd just like to just say, so it's happened with Eddie, it's happened with Jesus,
right? It's
happening with Havertz. All the clips, including even now, you say things like, "Why couldn't he? Why can't he?" That's what you just said with Havertz.
No. With the Jesus one, I got that completely wrong, right? So I admit that, but you won't admit it with the Havertz thing.
What am I meant to admit?
You won't admit it, right?
He's been useful at times.
You won't admit that he could have got 20 because you're not conclusive. And as I said, you were excited. Right?
That was from Kroenke. You're bringing the last episode.
Yeah, but listen, you spent that whole episode saying about, what about be excited? And then you're there in real time, living colour, saying about you excited. Now you're all of a sudden, that was down to you having a tan.
All right.
You know what I mean? I'm sorry.
Living colour, yeah?
Right?
Living colour.
Living colour.
I got one more.
But you got one more.
I've got one more.
Hey, what's going
Let's
on, man?
live in colour.
So he's been in cahoots
Let's live
with
in
these guys.
colour right here,
All
please.
right, you've been in cahoots with these man. All right, come on, look what you got. This guy Ryan, man, has been lining these all up. All right, what you got now? In the case of Havertz, he has only just come in. This is his third start for Arsenal, right? It does take time. We stood up here before and said, Dennis Bergkamp took him about 10 games before he got his first goal. 9 games or 10 games, I can't remember now, right? But it does take players sometimes a little while to get going.
Yardman was bewildered, bro. Bewildered. You know that word? Put that image of Yardman next to the word bewildered.
It does take time though. Dennis Bergkamp did go quite a few games without scoring.
And what's happened? Like that was 3 games in. Now we're 50 games in. Are you gonna?
So who was we talking about there?
Havertz.
Yeah. So it does take time. It does take time.
By now, Bergkamp was established though. But by now,
I know. But Havertz is not a striker. I was making a point at the time. It does take time. You can't just after 1-2 games say, "Oh, why is he not scored?" Blah blah blah. Yeah, I mean you can't do that. You've got strikers that are prolific now.
Yep.
Isak didn't come in and score. How many goals did he get in his first season? The Isak of the first season is not the Isak that we're seeing now. It does take time sometimes.
But the problem is the Havertz of the first season is the Havertz we have been seeing this season.
Oh, but you wouldn't have known. You don't know because we don't see. The season didn't finish yet. So we don't know if he would have got 20. Listen,
you haven't seen
Kai Havertz is not a striker. Kai Havertz is like, what I'd describe where he can do a great job is as a second striker. I've never ever said that Kai Havertz is our main guy. I've never ever said that we don't need a striker. And you know that. I've never ever said that, right? But what I do say, and I think people are overcritical on, is the guy does score. They make out like he scores no goals. And then you'll see some stats around it. And he's scoring more goals even at that stage when he got injured than he had. Some of his stats are better than some of the established strikers in the Premier League. So I do think sometimes people are overly harsh on him. We know he's not the striker. And maybe a lot of that's down to the manager. He's sort of put him in that position where he's under pressure to be a Haaland. He's never going to be a Haaland. He's never going to be an Isak. He's not a striker. But I think he is a guy, if we had a main striker, I think he's a guy that we probably embrace more because he'd do more of a job.
This is where you're wrong, and you don't want to admit it. I know your transfer priorities.
You don't think so.
I know your priorities for this summer. Luckily, we just done that piece of content now. So I know in your top 3 priorities this summer, there's 2 strikers.
Yeah.
So you're not trying to embrace Kai Havertz and you know that we need to upgrade that. And to be honest,
what did I say? And people are going to see that video. I said in that video because I want to have a scary attack.
He can supplement.
Yeah.
But you also know that essentially is phase 1 of phasing him out of the team. You know that.
Listen, not necessarily. It depends. It depends. I also think with Kai Havertz, right, that he can play multiple positions. So I think he could play on the right wing. That's where he used to play before he joined Chelsea. He can play on that side. And he can play as that sort of, he can play midfield and he can play as that sort of, what they call it, false number 9 type striker. But he's not an out-and-out striker. And that's why he gets criticism. I get that, why he gets the criticism. But I do think that, like, someone like you're very unfair on him sometimes. Unfair, yeah.
You've just clipped me up the few moments that I've given him praise, and used it like I've been flip-flopping.
Yeah, but then look how you ended it.
I'm
about
the fairest.
You did a video where you're slagging off people for singing his song. That's over the top.
It's not about.
Is that not over the top? Would you like to go back and say, you know what? Maybe in hindsight, I was a bit over the top when I was there, saying that anybody literally had a pop at Arsenal fans for singing his song. We can't get behind our players now.
You see, I wouldn't say Arsenal fans because it's very relevant to the person that decides to sing it or not. It's my opinion. I don't think Kai Havertz should have a song like many other players.
Why can't he have a song? What's wrong with that?
Because I just feel like you earn your song. I feel like you earn your chant by putting in the hard miles for the club.
He does put in the hard miles for the club.
No. No.
So people can't get a song no more?
No, we know.
You're miserable, man. I mean, why can't you have a song?
Back in the day, we have many OGs that didn't even have songs.
Yeah, but then even now we've got many players who don't have songs.
Yeah, well, I mean, barely now, innit?
Huh?
Barely.
No, you have players who don't really have songs.
Barely, though.
What's the song for Thomas Partey? He don't really have a song, does he?
He might not. Yeah,
You know,
he might
I'm
not.
saying it's not everyone who's got a song. Lighten up, man.
No.
Lighten up. Why can't you have a song?
He can have. Listen, it's up to each individual to sing.
No,
what
but
they
you was
wanna
having
sing.
a pop at people for singing.
Yeah, that's my opinion. Why are you singing about Kai Havertz? That's my opinion.
Because he's plays for Arsenal.
Chelsea,
He's one of our players.
He's a Chelsea reject that's come here and he's accommodated the highest wage at the club, and he hasn't kicked on.
So you're admitting now you're just like you're bitter, twisted.
No, I'm not.
You are.
I'm
You see
not.
what you said there? Chelsea reject.
That's the facts.
He's a Chelsea reject, right?
Mm-hmm.
So basically, he's got no. As far as you can see, the underlining problems there. It doesn't matter what he does. You just look at it and think, Chelsea.
Because
reject.
if you take a player,
you're never going to give him a chance.
If you take a player off a rival and they come and do what they need to do, then you can look back and laugh at the rival. That's nice. I'd love to do that.
But you said straight away. It's not like you.
Yeah, because there's 2 years in.
You said Chelsea reject.
Mm-hmm.
That means from day one he ain't got a chance with you. Chelsea reject, and you don't even want him to have a song.
Not from day one. The wages is the biggest factor here.
Ain't you the man who's always saying there, I don't care about wages?
No, I'm actually the one
Yes.
that's always mentioning it.
No, you're always talking about how you don't care about wages.
Yeah,
I don't care about wages. I don't care about things.
If you spend it right.
If you have to slap down 300 million on the table, slap it down on that.
If you
That's
spend
you.
it right. If you spend it right. If you don't, then I'm going to question why you did this.
Listen, I just think you had a hatred of the guy, right? Right? From day one, from the minute he come in, because it, like you've just admitted there, because he's come from Chelsea, you just, he's never going to do anything right for you. You'll have the odd moment where you say, yeah, well done, Kai, and thing, and then the minute he makes a mistake, you're back on him. This is what I said with the flip-flop thing.
Yeah, he's made
There's a lot of fans like that, you know what I mean? The minute, it's almost like they're waiting for that player to do something wrong or to have one bad game in that, and then they're on their case.
No, I'm glad there was clips of me there praising him.
Yeah,
because then the whole hatred case doesn't make sense because I praised him quite a
You
bit.
said it right with the thing. You said the Chelsea reject thing shouldn't have a song.
Yeah.
That's hatred to me.
No, it's not hatred, it's opinion.
It is.
No, he is.
He shouldn't have a song.
Was he a Chelsea player?
Yeah.
Did it work for him at Chelsea?
You see, he won them the Champions
Did it
League.
work? But did it work for him at
Boy,
Chelsea?
if you speak to a lot of Chelsea fans, they'll say, I'll take that.
Did it work? But you know what I mean by that. Did it work for him at Chelsea?
If he scored the winning goal for the Champions League for Arsenal or the league,
Of course.
it worked.
Well, but he hasn't for us now.
No, he hasn't. Right? But for Chelsea, you asked the question about Chelsea. For me, it worked. He scored the winning goal for Chelsea in the Champions League. Something that they're singing about till this day. So it worked. A bit like when Torres was there. Right? Yes, it weren't working, but look what he did.
But we know he
won them the Champions
But
League.
he was
with his
generally
goals.
a flop there, though,
right?
Torres.
Right? Well, you go speak to a Chelsea fan, say, would you have took him out of the team? They wouldn't have won the Champions League. Same with Havertz. Right? So just got to, you need to lighten up a bit, man. Get rid of a bit of this hatred.
Hold on,
You know what I
lighten
mean?
up.
You need to lighten up a bit, man. Serious.
21
'Cause
years.
Some of it is, some of it's very irrational from you.
No,
you know
not
what I mean?
at all. I'm
You need
very
to just
fair.
be a bit like,
I'm very fair. I'm probably the fairest.
You're not
I'm the fairest on this table right now. That's for sure.
You
see
fair.
this table here? I'm the fairest on this
You're
table.
not fair. You're not fair.
I am.
You're not fair. You got certain players that you just got a dislike of. And it doesn't matter what they do. If he scored 30 goals, you criticise him.
No.
for
Why
something.
would I do that?
You would. You'd find something.
Why?
You'd find something.
Why?
Man. You'd find. I know you. Listen,
Why?
You know how long I've known you now. I know.
I still look back at Van Persie and could cry. And that's a 30-goal-a-year striker. You're scoring 30 goals for Arsenal Football Club. You're doing your job as striker.
I know you. You'd find some way to criticise it. You'd be like, yeah, no. If you actually do some analysis on it, 20 of them were tap-ins, right? So for me, that don't even count, or something like that. That'd be you.
On that note, I could easily say Kai Havertz only has 2 goals and assists against two GA against the top 7 in the league.
See, that's
I
what
could
I'm
even
saying.
go there. I could say he scored
what you're
3
saying.
goals against the bottom 3. When we delve into the underlying metrics, all the big games this season, he failed to show up. Jesus, we go back to that clip. It didn't work out for it. It didn't work. It's time to be more ruthless, not light.
But then, when I think of some of your takes of the players that you were wanting to bring in over the years, right? Boy, they wouldn't have done better than Havertz, would they?
Not too sure. Openda would have.
Would he?
Yeah. Don't you think?
Openda?
Openda would
You're
have.
missing someone here.
Who? Go on, say the name. I dare you say the name now, because I got one more loaded. I got one more here loaded. Say the name.
You're missing one.
Say the name. Say the name.
You missing one?
Say the name.
Huh?
Just say it.
You're missing
who
one.
Am I missing? I'm not missing no one. Who am I missing?
No, you're missing someone.
Who am I missing?
You know I'm saying you're missing.
Nah.
Right?
I can't. I'm
you're
on one
missing
before.
someone.
My memories.
That's why you said Openda. And even Openda. How many goals has he scored this season, Openda?
He's probably his worst season in a little while, but... Yeah.
How many has he scored?
I don't know.
Yeah, let me find out.
Can you say the name so I can just reload this?
Before I say that name, right, I need to just check on the Openda, right? Because he's the answer people to all our problems. So,
yeah,
he must have scored. He must be closing in on 20, surely.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah?
Forget him and Sesko are up top, though, isn't it? So it's a different dynamic.
I was trying to
It's a different dynamic. They both score goals, isn't it?
Openda, 25 games, people. 25. How many did you say Havertz have played?
21 or 22, something like that.
21. No, you said 21. He's
okay, maybe 22. I haven't checked. I can
21.
Check.
25 games, 8 goals. That's the answer to us. 8 goals. That's less than Havertz.
I didn't say that's the answer.
Havertz at 17 games, he said. No, sorry, correction. 21 games, he said, right? Mm-hmm. Right? 9 goals. Disaster. Get him out of the club. Don't sing his song. Now, the guy he wants... 25 goals in a league that's not as competitive. It's a good league, Bundesliga, but not as, we know the Premier League's harder. And he scored 8.
Having a poor season. He's alongside Sesko, who's probably scored, 10?
He's having a poor season. Yeah?
He is.
You see, that's what I'm saying about this guy. Why can't you admit it?
Openda's a striker that scored 20 like 3 years
So you want him. That's the replacement.
No. You said...
That's the replacement for Havertz,
you said a couple of the strikers you've mentioned wouldn't have gone down well. One is Openda.
Wait, that's the replacement for Havertz.
No, not now. The replacement now is Gyökeres.
No.
That's the replacement.
You just said a bit like...
You just said some of the strikers...
You just said a few minutes ago and you said Openda would have done much better.
Yeah, because you mentioned strikers I've mentioned in the past.
And I'm saying, look at his stats. 25 appearances in the Bundesliga this season. 8 goals.
Don't just go off the stats.
Right, so you don't go off the stats now. So with Havertz, you're going off the stats. You're even giving me the GA, what he didn't do against certain big teams. But when it comes to Openda now, that's what I'm saying, man.
Okay,
you can't. You just say you hate the guy.
First touch.
Just say you dislike the guy.
First touch.
You don't like him, do you?
First touch.
You don't like him.
First touch.
Right?
I just want your opinion of the...
I'm not asking nothing about no first touch.
But we'll move away from GA.
Listen. Just admit it, right? This is proof. You're proving to everyone now your dislike of him, right? Because you've recommended a guy that's not even scored as many as him in way more games.
I recommended him 2 years ago.
Right? And now...
2 years ago.
And now, all of a sudden, you ask me about... It's no longer the goals he scored, people. His first touch.
No, I'm giving you don't want to talk about GA. We'll talk about attributes. First touch, in behind, off the shoulder, link-up play, confidence. All of these factors work against Havertz.
How many goals did he score last season, Openda?
Around 20.
Around, yeah?
Yeah, around 20.
I need to check that as well.
Yeah, and don't forget...
Because we view you as well, you know what I mean? I don't...
Check. Don't forget Sesko.
And then he plays next to Sesko.
He does. It's a 2 strikers. It's 2 strikers.
28 and 45 games.
28 in 40... No, in the Bundesliga, I want to know. Because when he came...
24 and 34.
Sorry?
24 and 34.
24 in the Bundesliga. Yeah, but that was last year. What about this year?
Yeah, and what did
this year
Havertz
he
get
scored
last year?
8.
Yeah, okay.
8 goals,
No.
bro.
We're on Openda.
That's who you want. That's who you want to Arsenal.
You mentioned the name you wanted to mention based off of years ago, my suggestion, yeah? You've also said that some of the names I suggested might not have gone down well. I said one of them that would have been better years ago is Openda. 2 years we're talking about. But there's a name you want to mention.
You wouldn't have him now?
Nah. Gyökeres or Isak now. We're a different club now. 3 years ago, we wasn't a club expectant to win the league.
He just changed it. He's like you're playing Football Manager. You know what I mean? It's like, who scored the most goal? Let me see. Who scored the most goal? You know what I mean?
You're going to mention the other name? Or?
I'm not going to mention the other name because you're trying to set me up.
Because you know I'm loaded.
No. You know what it is?
That's what I'm saying, people. He knows.
I've saved that for another show because I know you're trying to set me up.
I'll save this for another show then.
But I'm mentioning Openda. That's what I'm mentioning. 8 goals this season. Openda. Mm-hmm. Yeah, which is completely appended everything you wanted to say.
Go check how much Sesko's got.
Openda.
You want Sesko.
No, I never said I wanted Sesko.
You've said it many times.
When did I say I wanted Sesko? I said, listen, I'm not against Sesko. I didn't say I wanted Sesko. Mm-hmm. If we get Sesko, I'm not against it because, and again, you can't just fully judge it off of what he's done because we don't know what he's doing in the Premier League. And again, it can take time. Bit like what I just said with Isak. But if your name's Havertz, you get no time.
Fuck it, you can keep your name for another show, but I'm going to load mine. It's already 3-0, this show. Just know
Show
this.
is not 3-0.
But this is loaded. Play the clip, so he's finished.
You were
Play
finished.
the clip, so
you were
he's
finished
finished.
when you said you were excited.
Play this clip, so he's
You were finished when you said you were excited.
Let's just play the
you
clip.
play your clips.
Stars in
and
their
he's had
eyes.
about,
Let's
he's had
see.
about 4 clips to mine
Let's
too.
see. Yeah, your team
Right?
was blended up like
Right,
it was
but
ready
it's
for
all right. My
MTV base
excited-
or something.
the excited ones
How you
killed
talking
you.
about my clips?
Be excited. Be excited.
Let's see, one more. Just a quick one. 10 seconds. That's all we need to hear.
Target number 1, Christian Benteke.
Lock the
of
whole
Aston
thing off.
Villa. Now I know what you're thinking. You're thinking to
I
yourself,
know what you're thinking. Lock the
Benteke
whole
just signed
thing
a new
off.
contract in the
Wrap
summer.
up Gunners
wait a minute,
Unfiltered.
I know he did. But you know what it's like nowadays with these contracts. A lot of them have got these release clauses written into them. And I don't think Benteke would have signed a new contract with Villa without writing in some sort of release
How long do you
clause.
want?
All right.
How long do you want?
Christian Benteke.
Yeah.
Who in that season has scored a lot of goals. Yeah? And by the way, look how old that video. That
He
video,
had the runner, yes.
that
Jam
video,
Master
yeah.
J top on.
Yeah, that video must be about 10 years old, you know. Look at that, right? You went digging, bro.
Votes.
You went.
There's a vote there.
Did he get these? You've.
I got a vote of stuff.
You know what? I'm gonna right. So I'm on it now because with my ones, right? They just gave me these two and they said, Robbie.
So how's your
They just
production
gave-
team editing your one with music like it's Channel U and the beat's
listen,
about to drop
listen.
and it's gonna go
with
mad?
those, right? They just gave me a couple. They said, Robbie, is it? You've gone digging.
Yeah.
Look how far back he's got people.
Man said Christian Benteke.
That's how desperate he is, right? That's how desperate he is. Man's digging
Target
in the
number
vault.
one.
Well, you see, that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to go in the vaults.
Let's go.
I'm going to go in the
Vault
vault.
for vault.
But
Let's
you know
do
what?
this.
When I was saying that about Benteke, right? That was when he was at Villa. He was, if I remember rightly, that season he scored about 25 goals. So it was legitimate to say, you know, has he got a release clause and something to
Talk
look
to
at?
them, not me.
No, but it was.
I'm done
It was at that time. And didn't he go Liverpool? He went Liverpool. Big money move.
Liverpool them times
Right,
wasn't
and
Liverpool.
it didn't work out for him. It can happen, but it didn't work out for him. So, you know what I mean? It's easy to pull that in isolation, but you know what I mean? Yeah?
The vote.
But as I
let
said,
me lock it until next time.
Openda, bro. I need to know about
Cold.
Openda. And not only that,
Sealed.
you know what? This is war now. This is war. Right? Because I've just been just saying, no, I'm just going to roll in. And these guys today said, oh, Rob, we've got a couple of clips if you want to use.
So
right?
you got people
can think-
working for
Right,
you
let
and
me
you're
tell you
upset.
something. From now on, right, I'm digging deep, bro.
no
I'm
more.
digging deep. I'm not even just digging. I'm digging deep on AFTV. I'm looking on Big Six.
Nah, I'll copyright
right?
you. I'll copyright you.
Yeah, because you chat some crap over there.
Copyright.
You chat some crap over there. So I'm going to find over Big Six.
I'm warning you.
I'm going on everything, man. Don't worry, man. You know what I mean? This is war now. It's war.
All right, cool.
Right, listen, now it's time to get into unfiltered opinions. We love this section of the show. This is where you guys suggest some opinions. You've been sending them in. We're really, really happy with the ones that you've been, they're about happy about it, but you've been sending in some great opinions, right? Keep sending them in. Let's react to these ones. Let's see the first one that's going to come up here. You don't have the ball knowledge if you don't rate Havertz.
That's some bullshit, innit? That's some bullshit.
No?
No?
Because you know what it is, right? He does a lot more than what people think. So I think with Havertz, we've already both said he's not an out-and-out striker. But what he does do, right, he scores goals. He does a lot of unseen work off the ball. You got to admit that. Works really hard. Can hold the ball up. Good in the air. Does good defensive work. As a team player, I think he's a very good player. So that's what they're probably getting up on that.
But all them attributes don't really relate to ball for me, let alone ball knowledge.
No, but the reason why they're saying that is that, like, overall, you got to see all those attributes in him. You can't just look on Havertz and just
When
say...
someone says that player's balling out, it's not unseen stuff off the ball. It's not headers. It's not the nitty gritty stuff. When someone says balling out, the word ball, if you're putting ball knowledge, I'd use maybe Ozu as the example.
No, but that's separate, because I think when you're talking about ball knowledge, you're talking about like when somebody observes a team. So in a team, you've got many different types of players. You've got your flair player, you've got your attacking player, your defensive player. sometimes you've got your player. Remember going even back to the days of, you know, when he used to say the water carriers and players like that, players that are just sit in midfield and they enable other players to do their thing. So that's, you know, sometimes it's being able to spot that. That's your ball knowledge. Being able to spot that there's many different, you know, facets to the game.
I rate a lot of players that are flexible and can be used in, like, for example, James Milner. I think he's one of the, and I think, you know, if you don't rate him, then you do lack ball knowledge because of.
Well, then you've answered the question.
But Havertz is, you know, he's not that level of you can play him in this.
But he has a good all-round game.
He's okay. He's okay at best.
See, hate again. All right, let's get the next question. He's still hating.
Turkish would rather be proven right about the Kroenkes than see Arsenal succeed.
Answer that.
Do you believe that?
I think there's something in that. I think there's something to be said in that because, as I said, look how you're there from the be excited thing. You know, listen, I think you do want to see Arsenal succeed, right? So, but you'd rather it not be under the Kroenkes.
No,
if somebody said to
necessarily.
Yeah, they're going to win the treble, but it's going to be under the Kroenkes, or we'll win the double under someone else. You probably want it under someone else. You hate them that much.
No, bring it on. I'll take the treble.
When you have a hatred of someone,
I'll take the treble under. If you tell, listen, I'll take the treble under Kroenkes than a double under another ownership. My thing with the Kroenkes is I know that it's difficult to get owners out, so it's not like I'm expecting these owners to sell up shop and move, but they need to start winning. And even if they do win, which I want, we all want, they need to build on that some more. It's not just win it once and that's it, like they've done with Rams or Denver Nuggets or whatever polo stuff they got going on in America. I don't know what they play out there. This club is the club I love. So win something for us. Start proving your words right, that you didn't want to invest fully until you had full ownership. You have got ambitions to win. Start proving your words right, not my words wrong. Because this is what comes out of Josh Kroenke since 2018 and since the full ownership. So it's about them proving themselves right than me being proven wrong. I want to be proven wrong. Every year I want to be proven wrong. Please prove me wrong.
Okay. All right, next question. 100 million for Gabriel is enough to sell him. Not for me.
I don't want to say, first and foremost, nah. But if he's interested in a move, then 100 million is the benchmark for me, because he'll probably be Saudi and they got money. But I don't want to be messing about with the one part of the pitch that we're so good in.
I think it's got to always come to the stage where if you're a serious club serious about winning, you don't even entertain these things. You say to yourself, no, we're building a team to win things, right? So anytime you start to get into that mode that as soon as a club comes with a big fee, you sell that player, he's gone, you're not in it for the winning. You're like, no disrespect to, I don't know, a Bournemouth or a Brighton or someone like that who would sell that player, flip that and then try and see if they could get another player to, you know what I mean? I understand that for those sort of clubs. But I feel like a club like Arsenal, it has to get to the stage where you're like, no, we've taken time to build this team. And no, we're not selling him. And, you look at teams like Real Madrid, even Barcelona, with all the financial problems they've had, right? They only sell a player when they have to sell him. Not when you just come in with a big bid, even if it is Saudi.
Yeah.
It's when they want him to go, he goes. And that's what Arsenal got to become. It can't just be like, oh, yeah, this one offering 100 million and Gabriel's gone. We got to stop that.
No, I'm with you.
Turkish only started rating Arteta when the fan base pressured him into it.
Oh my God, the fan base pressure.
I don't even think I'd agree with that. You know what I mean? I don't think any fan base could pressure him into it. Yeah, I mean,
into anything.
Do you rate Arteta?
Yeah, I do. Again, like you could the same way with the Havertz clip that your production team done very well in blending up.
My production, you work here as well.
Yeah. But
and some of those clips, So they didn't do none of the clips for you?
No, I did my homework.
You did all those clips
That
yourself?
was all. Ask, he's right here. Ask him, did I do them clips myself?
See how hard he worked. Don't worry,
because I know you got a team working for you. I'm just out here
What
on my
team?
own. I'm out here, man.
Team.
But you could do the same with Mikel for me. I've criticised when I believe criticism is necessary. I've given praise when I believe, and that's being a football fan for me. Like this whole flip-flop narrative in general for me, people need to understand. You surely the sensible thing to do in any walk of life is your opinion is based off the relevant history. You learn your lessons, look back and see, and then form and you know, the last year might not have been the same as the year before that. So with Mikel, I feel like he's been in better books than he is right now with me, because this season I think that he has messed up quite a bit.
Which manager out there at the moment would you love to bring in if he doesn't deliver?
Simeone.
So if Simeone turned around to you right now and said, you know what, end of the season, had enough at Atletico, I'm ready, would you sack Arteta?
Yeah.
Harsh.
Diego Simeone, I struggle to find a better manager behind, you know, maybe.
But would you like that style?
I don't need to like the style.
You moan about this style. You moan about Arteta's style. You moan about, you know, I want to see attacking football. This is, you know what I mean, it's too controlled and all that. That's the same as Simeone does.
Yeah.
He does exactly the same type of style. It's all controlled. He's very defensive, lots of dark arts.
But he wins.
Not really. Yeah, but would you like that style of football?
I'd like to win. The style comes after that.
You sure he'd win here in the Premier League?
I think
up against Pep and that with that style.
I think
would he? He's not really. He's not won a lot.
If the scenario you're saying,
no, but in La Liga, he's not won a lot in it playing that style.
You're playing Real Barca, that's, you know, it's different.
I know. Here you're playing, you know, City, Liverpool.
Yeah, they're not the same.
So is that going to work with that style?
We are set up for potentially a Simeone type manager, because Arteta looks like he's, you know, that ilk rather.
But I'm saying that you've been moaning about that style
because we haven't won. I don't care if you're boring Arsenal, 1-0 to the Arsenal, George Graham era. That wasn't the best free-flowing team, but there was something about it.
So as long as we win, they're happy?
Yeah, as long as
So why were you moaning the other day at a Chelsea game after that?
Because the season's ending with nothing.
No, but I'm just taking that game in isolation. You moaned about that performance.
Yeah, because
you moaned about the thing. You moaned about how boring it was and that, right?
You'll find interviews.
Would you want that every week?
If it wins, yeah.
Okay.
I'll take Mourinho 04-05 football if it wins. I'll take Simeone, 13-14 football if it wins.
But would it win? He hasn't won nothing for a while.
And that's the risk he has to take. That's why
he hasn't won nothing for a while in La Liga.
He won La Liga 2 years ago. Luis Suarez came in one season, bang, they won La Liga. So I'm saying
was it 2 years ago?
2 years ago.
Yeah, sure.
2 years ago. Okay. Suarez, after Barca, they took him for a year and he won it for them. Well, not he won it for them. He played a part in winning it for them.
Next question. Robbie's opinions on this show make him sound like a diet type.
I don't know, you know, because...
If I'm a diet type, I'd be really skinny.
I don't know. Yeah, they can't mean that in a size sense anymore, that's for sure. They must mean that in a delusion sense, but... I think that's been a bit disrespectful to Ty, if I'm honest with you. So, yeah, that's my opinion of that.
Right, listen, finally, before we go, we got to go with what we love, the unfiltered archives, when we delve deep into the archives to come up with a really funny clip. Let's check this one out. Maybe Turkish found this. Let's see.
In this video, I'm going to take a look at the top 5 Judases. The mere mention of this name gets me mad. Sami Nasri. Listen, you was there. Just like Adebayor, Wenger took you. But what did you do? Yeah, you went for the money. Yeah, I took time over this. Cashley, because that's what we renamed him, because he wanted the money. The money at Chelsea. And he wanted to go and hang out with that bloody John Terry and all those mugs. You are a Judas. Judas. Judas.
Why did Sami Nasri get the 3-punch combo and you're just shouting at Ashley?
You know, he made me mad. Actually, I have to, with the Ashley Cole thing, it turns out, remember when David Dean came in? He was sort of more or less saying that they did actually
fuck about.
Yeah, they messed around and that's why he left. So maybe I need to revise that and he shouldn't be number one. Maybe it should be Sammy. I didn't like how Sammy Nasri left because Arsenal basically made him, didn't they? They made him, and the way he left was very disrespectful, I thought. You know what I mean? Like, he just sort of really, you know, other players, like even the Van Persie thing and that, he gave a kind of a more better reason for leaving. But him, he just left. I don't know.
He sent a lot of shots over the years. That's what's caused.
I don't know what it is sometimes with some players. There's a way of leaving a club.
Yeah.
Because players leave. That's the way our football goes. But there's a way to leave. We were talking about it earlier, Koscielny. Like, you know, the way he left Arsenal when he took the shirt off.
Yeah.
And, you know, I mean, you don't do stuff like that.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. No, I'm with you. Nasri's hated.
Anyway, we've reached the end of the show today. Listen, don't forget to send us in your comments, right? Let us know. Give us your questions for the Gunners Unfiltered here, right? We want to hear from as many of you as possible. And we've reached the end of the show today.
3-0.
And it's not 3-0. It's not 3-0.
Let them know in the comments, people. Let them know.
People, I just got one final question to ask you before we go. Are you excited?
They can't hold me, hustle like a bad